You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show, the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. We don't have any new callers, but we got Uncle Rico.
Yo, Ryan.
Yo.
It's your Uncle Rico.
What's going on?
Bro. I said bro.
Bro.
You need to get yourself an outdoor V-bottom fryer. That's what you need. And you can fry everything. You can fry it all, whatever you want. You fry it, you just fry everything. Fry. It's great. It's like smoking because you're outdoors and it's manly and fun, but it's quick. Yeah. It doesn't take long. You don't have to wait all day and goof around and tend to it and have your mouth water for hours while your meat's cooking. You just drop it in the fryer, a couple minutes, yank it back out, and then you eat it. V-bottom fryer, outdoor. Do it. All right, then. Rico out. Y'all have a good day.
This is new for me, so I'm just beginning the process of looking into this, all right? So we'll get to your second call as we let the robots kind of figure out what the heck you're talking about.
Ryan, it's your Uncle Rico.
What's up?
I got all distracted there with my own self. I forgot you said about you don't know what to do with the oil when you're deep frying.
Yeah.
So the outdoor V-bottom fryer.
Yep.
For one, you're outdoors, so you don't make a mess.
This one's $500.
For two, it's a V-bottom, so the flame is above the debris, like you cook some breaded wings or something.
Mm-hmm.
You lose some breading and whatnot. It goes down in the V part in the very bottom,
sure.
And the flame is above there. So
it
doesn't sit there and turn it into blackness.
Yep.
That's a problem with deep fryers. If you're doing, like if you use a turkey fryer to fry wings, the crap all settles in the bottom and then just sits there and cooks and blackens and ruins your oil. So you get the V bottom, the debris goes in the bottom, and your oil stays nice, and virtually your oil lasts forever unless you're a wild person and you're cooking 24/7. Like in a restaurant, you got your deep fryer. They don't change the oil all that often depending on their cooking habits or if they're running for temp. If you're on too high a temp, then the oil doesn't last as long. And if you don't clean your oil or skim the debris out or have any way to maintain that, but if you keep the debris out and don't overcook or overheat, your oil lasts for a long, long time. And it's outside. So, yeah, it's great, Ryan. And everybody gets all, their veins and arteries and stuff clogged up. Peanut oil works good, the kind you use for turkeys.
Sure. Higher
temp, good flavor. You can cook wings out there all day, Ryan. And then you can call your buddy Uncle Rico and he'll come over and eat them. Rico out.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the same answer with regard to the pizza oven, too, where it's a great idea, but then I have to use it, and I don't think I should be eating a bunch of deep-fried foods, you know what I mean? I hate to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. It's like, what about health? What about, ugh. I borderline can't watch Shark Tank anymore, because anytime somebody comes out, they're like, hey, we created this product, and look at this food. It's really good. And they're like, yeah, but I don't eat unhealthy foods. It's like, shut up, idiot. I want to be clear. I'm pro pizza, and I'm pro deep-fried foods. I'm just saying, if I got to drop like $300 on a fryer, I got to be frying some stuff. I got to be frying lots of stuff. And I don't know if that's a good idea. I got an air fryer, you know what I mean? If I need to fry something, which apparently I never really do. I also just don't like my air fryer. I made the mistake of getting the air fryer with the shelves, which is actually probably a pretty good idea, but I don't know. I can't find the shelves, and I don't like using it. I don't know, just not much of a fry guy, I guess, you know what I mean? But I will have that in the back of my mind if ever I am in a situation where I just have so much money that I just need to put it somewhere. I will consider a V-bottom fryer.
Hey Ryan, it's Nate, just calling
as well as a pizza oven.
in to just check in, see how everybody's 4th of July weekend was. I don't know when this will get played, but we had a little bit of a longer weekend. We went up to the Northwoods, my wife and I, so
Nice.
we got plenty of sunburn, but we also had plenty of mosquitoes. The mosquitoes up in Northwoods, Wisconsin, I don't know if anybody's been up there, like Tomahawk area, Tomahawk, Minocqua area up in there. Good Lord, those mosquitoes up there, they're a different breed. They will carry your children away. They will annihilate towns and cities and burn everything to the ground. There's something special, and I don't recommend going outside around them unless you have a good solid quarter inch of DEET on from off or whatever bug spray you prefer. But yeah, so other than that, we had a good time. I also wanted to give an update. I saw the new Jurassic Park movie.
Okay.
It was pretty good. None of the original characters in it, but they kind of just did a different storyline for once. It wasn't really the usual. They did a lot of the same, mutated versions of dinosaurs. That's the one critique I didn't super care for.
Yeah.
But otherwise, overall, it's pretty decent. Not the worst Jurassic Park or Jurassic World that I've ever seen. There's quite a few of those stinkers, but other than that, hope everybody had a great 4th of July. Hope you had some fun with your family. Hope you did lots of grilling out. Go Pack, go.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we did do ribs. Pretty excited about that whole business there. So I did start the Jurassic Park thing. And by start, I mean, I've seen the first one a bunch of times, so I don't need to watch that. So I watched the second one. It's not the one I thought. I must be thinking of the third one, I guess? I don't know. But yeah, the second one, I don't know. It didn't super do it for me. I mean, it was definitely more... they didn't go down the crazy route of mutations and crazy futuristic I mean, it was pretty straightforward. It was okay, I guess. It also made me just not want to do the Jurassic Park thing where I go back through and watch them. I did watch, I didn't finish it because our freaking internet went out like every second. But I was like, you know what I haven't done in a while? Just a good old-fashioned horror movie. So I used the old AI. I'm like, give me a list. Here's some of the ones I like, and usually they give the same old list every time. But there were a couple on there I didn't know, and so I grabbed one. Didn't look like it would be very good, but I trusted the process. It's Oculus. I still have to finish it, but it's pretty good. It's got a couple jump scares in it. I wasn't feeling like it was super creepy, but it was one of those things in the 1 o'clock in the morning. I get up to go to the bathroom, and you're kind of like, ooh, what was that? And like, see? All right. Okay, not bad. Kind of have to remind yourself you're a grown adult and you're not scared of the dark anymore. And also, for those that are into it, I'm at the end of the movie, and it's one of those where you start wondering, you start playing that game of like, ooh, I wonder if this is what's happening, or I wonder if, this is the twist, or maybe everything I thought wasn't true. And then you're like, oh, maybe it is true, or maybe, I don't know. Kind of, it keeps you guessing a little bit as to what the heck is going on. I kind of have a feeling like what you thought all along was going on is what's actually going on, but I don't know, and that's part of the appeal, I guess. So I got to finish that movie, assuming the internet decides to work. I'm so close to just dishing out the money for the Elon internet because I am so sick and tired of the internet constantly going out. We had another storm roll through, lost internet, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm playing freaking Warhammer instead of doing the podcast. But we're back.
Hey Ryan, it's Nate. I just wanted to call in because I have a high thought of the day.
Okay.
I was thinking about
as in like weed
our specific team situation. We own the team, or some of our fans own the team.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see a court battle of a bunch of fans getting together to make a decision for the team, like something they think that the Packers are doing wrong, that they all get together and they want to flex and try to make a decision or change something that we really hate. Why hasn't anybody ever tried that?
I could see so many people trying to do something like that. It's going to annoy the crap out of me because it's going to be something that I don't agree with. You know, like we should have. We need to trade for TJ Watt or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be, guys, you got to stop. But it's a pretty good robot question. I'll give you that. I'll let you play this out, and then I'll try to think of how to phrase my question. See exactly what you're angling for here.
You know, why didn't we try that when everybody wanted to get, rid of McCarthy or something, or one of those things that we all kind of united together on? Why didn't we try that? You know, I'm not saying we should do it every time. I don't want it to extend and like turn into something crazy, but what's the legal situation? Can you ask your lawyer friend, your half Mexican lawyer? Can we get the HML in here?
Yeah.
Just want to know. Okay, go.
My HML. Well, I've replaced my my half Mexican lawyer with a robot now, but he's welcome to chime in if he happens to be listening. Off the top of my head, I would assume there's a bunch of small print that completely nullifies any attempt at a quote-unquote owner to do anything or have any say in anything whatsoever. But we'll take a look at what we got here. Packers are structured as publicly owned, nonprofit, 538,000 shareholders, holding 5 million shares. Shareholder rights are limited. They receive voting privileges at the annual shareholders meeting, primarily to elect members of the 45-person board of directors. Access to the meeting itself and the ability to buy exclusive merchandise. However, the shares provide no dividends, cannot be traded on the market, can only be resold to the team at a tiny fraction of the purchase price, are non-transferable except to immediate family members. No individual can own more than 200,000 shares, about 4% of the total, to prevent any single person or group from gaining control. Team decisions, including operational ones like hiring and firing coaches, are handled by management under the oversight of the board of directors and its 7-member executive committee. Elected from the board, the executive committee sets broad policies, improves major expenditures, and monitors all performance, while the president, currently Mark Murphy, transitioning to ed policy, and general manager Brian Gutekunst handle the day-to-day operations. Firing a coach is typically an executive, blah, 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 blah. If shareholders attempted to sue the Packers to force an action like firing a coach, they could try filing a derivative lawsuit, suing on behalf of the corporation, alleging harm to the team. This might claim that the board or executives breached their fiduciary duties by retaining an underperforming coach, thereby damaging the team's success, reputation, or community value. However, based on the Packers' governance structure and general corporate law principles in Wisconsin, where the team is incorporated, and then there's some bullet points here, the suit would likely fail due to the business judgment rule, which protects directors' and officers' decisions from judicial second-guessing. If they are made in good faith with reasonable care and in the corporation's best interest, courts rarely intervene in internal management choices like personnel decisions, viewing them as discretionary rather than fiduciary violations. I gotta be honest, this is pretty impressive. Went through and learned all the details of the management structure of the shares and what comes with that. Went through Wisconsin law, precedent. Shareholders' limited economic interests, no financial upside from shares, weakens claims of harm, as the nonprofit's purpose is sustaining the team in Green Bay for community benefit, not maximizing profit. So that makes perfect sense, considering your one argument is harm, and it's like, well, there's no you don't have a financial interest in this, so there's no actual evidence of harm that you can claim here. Maybe emotional harm. There are no known historical examples of Packer shareholders successfully suing the team over internal decisions. Past legal issues involving fan injuries, such as a 1931 lawsuit leading to receivership, or external matters like NFL referee disputes, like a 2012 suggestion to sue the league over replacement officials, not the Packers itself. Broader searches for shareholder lawsuits against the Packers yield no precedence. The organization's bylaws and articles of incorporation emphasize community ownership and stability with built-in safeguards against controller disruption, making courts even less inclined to intervene. It sounds like, and this is true of just about anything, anybody can sue anybody they want. It sounds like if Packer fans wanted to start some kind of a petition to get together and collectively sue the Green Bay Packers or whatever, it would go forward. It would just very quickly and easily be thrown out. But it would be a fun spectacle to observe. It says, in practice, unhappy shareholders are better off using their voting rights to elect new members who align with their views, proposing resolutions at the annual meeting, which, by the way, is coming up in about a week or so, I believe. Never gone to one, but I don't plan on going to this, but, you never know. Didn't even think about it until right this second, but probably rather not. All right, why don't we take a break? We'll come back. We got Uncle Rico.
Yo, Ryan, it's your Uncle Rico.
Yo, yo.
Hey, you know what?
What?
What I tell
What are we laughing at?
every moron who suggests that the Earth might be flat,
Yeah.
I tell them to walk out the front door and look to the west. Do you see Denver?
Right.
Because if you don't see Denver, because it's like a mile high, then, figure it out.
It's fair.
All right, then. Rico out.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, man, the more you think about it, without even really diving deep into it, the more you can just think of a million questions that would need to be answered. That being one of them. Now, I would still have questions in terms of, let's assume the Earth was flat. Would I be able to see Denver from where I am? It's pretty far. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can see the frickin' moon from where I am, so I don't know why not. I can see stars from really far away, although they're emitting light. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know why I wouldn't be able to see this wall in front of me. It's like, what the heck am I looking at? It's like, well, that's the mountains and stuff, dude. It would obviously be small from where I'm at. It would be kind of interesting to, it would be, you would assume kind of barely raised. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's way up there, but it's also super far away. I'm thinking from Wisconsin, where I am. I mean, at the very least, you would be able to see, like, when you're driving through, for example, Illinois, if you're driving down the center of the state, say you're going south, it's the way we prefer to go rather than cutting through Chicago and Indianapolis if we're going to Florida or something, just because it's just straight and it's flat and it's not traffic and not crazy. Somebody has to go to the bathroom in the middle of the ghetto. Let's just avoid that. You would at least think you'd be able to see the buildings in Chicago, Because that's not that far away. If we're talking flat, even from that distance, there's going to be a little bit of height to those buildings still. And I got to be honest, I'm not seeing them. There might be a period where you can kind of see a little, but I don't think so. I don't think you can. I'm not even talking about like the New York skyline. I'm talking about from the center of Illinois to Chicago. Can't see it. So, yeah, it creates way more questions than it does answers.
Yo, Ryan, it's your Uncle Rico.
Yo.
I don't know why, but maybe I'm just in a mood today.
Okay.
I must be, because this morning you were talking about these morons. Okay, it was about the Murphy's retirement, and some freaking goofball writes in having a meltdown about Trey Hendrickson, and that's what we need, and the be-all, end-all, guaranteed Super Bowl, blah, blah. Oh, moron. And Jalen Ramsey, some other guy going on about that. I mean, not that they're bad players, but what's wrong with these people? Did Cincinnati win a Super Bowl with Trey Hendrickson? I don't think so. So how does he automatically equate to Super Bowl? Jalen Ramsey, did Miami win a Super Bowl? I don't think so. How does that equate to Super Bowl? Oh, man. And this whole flat Earth thing?
It reminds me, before we get into flat Earth, it just reminds me that I wanted to dive in, and we probably should again before this whole actual season thing kicks off, doing a deep dive into all the big acquisitions that were made this past year and how that panned out.
You got me revved up on that? I mean, what's wrong with people? Shouldn't there be, explain to me sunrise, sunset. Explain to me everything. Explain to me the whole thing, how you would even come to any kind of thought at all that would make you think the Earth was flat.
Well, and again, I know that they have I think the sun goes around in a circle, which why you wouldn't be able to see it the entire time. I guess I don't know. I'm sure they have an answer for that. It's also hilarious that, if I'm not mistaken, the gravity explanation is actually what, electromagnetism? What does that even mean? Like, what? So I'm magnetized to the Earth? Okay, sure. There's a billion problems with it, but it's just weird because why? The amount of crazy things you have to make up just so that you're allowed to not believe something that you learned because you just don't want to believe it. It's wild to me.
These people, all these people, I mean, I'm fairly tolerant of your average moron, right? I put up with a lot of crap from a lot of people who, should there be some kind of a test when you apply for your license to freaking breathe oxygen? What? I'm having a meltdown. I can't take it anymore. The stupidity is rampant. All right, then. Rico out.
Yeah, and I mean, look, again, I like to think that you should be, open-minded about stuff, and there's definitely going to be instances where there are things that we've been told that are not true, or for one reason or another. I mean, obviously things change all the time, so things that we thought were true end up not being true, whether we improve it or not, and there's going to be certain biases about certain things that could cause the academic community to not want to believe it, acknowledge it, talk about it, whatever. Sure, that's fine, whatever, but it kind of gets to the point where some of these get beaten down so badly that there's just nothing left, and Flat Earth has got to be one of those, man. It's rough. If you're hanging on to that, you're hanging on for dear life, and there's nothing left, man. It's pretty vicious. I don't know if you guys have seen it, the video where, the guy sets up a scientific experiment. He's got this laser that shoots across, I think it shoots like across a lake. That might have been a different one. I'm not sure. But either way, there's this laser, and so that, we just measure from the ground, like the laser is this high, okay. And then I'm going to go a long ways away over here, and then I'm going to cut a hole through a little cardboard thing or whatever at that same height, and assuming it's flat, I'm sure, they have ways of properly scientifically measuring these things, whatever, it should just shoot right through this hole. Straight shot. And so he's like, all right, is it on? Yeah, laser's on. And, huh. Interesting, okay. All right, hold it up over your head. He lifts it up over his head, sure enough, it registers. Because there's a curve, which means if you look straight out from where you are, they're actually dipping down. So they'd have to lift it up over their head in order to get it to be at the level it needs to be. So he just, every experiment that's been set up just completely disproves everything. All they really have are excuses. Well, why can I see curvature when I'm on the plane? Well, the windows, the way that the windows are. It's just excuses after excuses after excuses, but they're not actually putting out scientific things like this and saying, okay, if I do this and this, then this should be the result. And they do it, and it works. In fact, it was kind of funny. Another thing I'd seen, good old social media, I forget the guy's name, but the guy who did these science shows a long time ago, he talked about how somebody, like way back in the old Greek days, I know Greece still exists, but you know what I'm talking about when I say that, back when Greece was like a relevant major thing, they did experiments based on the height of these temple things. I don't know what it is, but the bottom line is he was able to determine the curvature of the Earth based on the difference, the distance between these two massive pylons, let's call them, and the angle of the shadow that it casts and all that kind of stuff. This was a long time ago. So yeah, that's a rough one, man. I think it's time to let that one go. We can explore some other interesting ones. You could probably sell me on a couple, possibly. That one's got to die.
What's going on, Pop? Dang, I'm sleepy. I'm saying my intro wrong.
I do that all the time.
What's going on? I just, you can tell maybe I might have had a long night. Anyway, it's Omar the Firefighter.
What's up?
How y'all doing? I'm calling because I was listening to the podcast about conspiracy theories, and that was funny. In school and everything, I thought that was hilarious. And and how somebody thought the earth was flat that was riding in the back of the car. That was hilarious. Anyway, I do agree that they probably should change schools. I always had an idea about schooling. Like, I remember in 5th grade, last year elementary school, we took a test, and it was like to see what kind of jobs you would be like good at.
Yeah.
So some people might have had 10 jobs, some people might have had 30. I don't remember the number I had. It might have been like 20. But firefighter was actually on there, like based on the question, like, do you like machines? Do you like people?
Right.
Do you like this? And you just circled it out. And what I thought was that every 5th grader should do that, right? And let's say you got a list of like 20 jobs. And then in middle school, or 10 jobs. And then you go to middle, they pick their 10 jobs, even if it was something like, I want to be a NFL football player. Like, fine. You know, chances of that slim, but hey, you can do that. And then you do certain jobs, like how about how to run an NFL team,
sure,
how to do sports injury, sports management, along with like basic math skills. Because I feel like once you get to about 5th, 6th grade, if you got your regular basic math skills, you're pretty
100%.
good with like most jobs. But if you wanted to be a scientist, you would take certain
right.
classes to be that. So like by the time you graduate high school, you have like 5 different jobs that you will be qualified to do, right? And then let's say you get that, but then you're like, you know what, I didn't want none of these jobs. Then you will go to college to learn how to do other jobs.
Sure.
You know, that's why I thought that would be cool, because I feel like less people would drop out of school because you're interested. You don't want to pick these things. You're interested in it. You know, this should be cool. Anyway, side story, again, appreciate the people who think about me and the past of my mom. I really appreciate it. I always felt like the Packernet was a family of mine as well. I feel like I know y'all, and all y'all would be invited to my house to watch all the movies you like and, you know, cook out and stuff like that. But anyway, go Pack Go. Can't wait for the season to start.
Yeah, I mean, it's really... It's a big annoyance to me when I think about the way school is laid out, and, you know, part of it is just how much I absolutely despise it. But it was a torturous thing for me that I look back and say was useless. After about 6th grade, how many things do we put kids? So you got, what, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you got 6 more years of school. In those 6 years, what did you learn that you still remember that you think is critically important, that somebody legally must be required to go to school to learn it? And of those subjects, how many are you proficient in right now? Like, you can say, well, I think chemistry is important. It's not, but I think chemistry is important. Okay, do you remember anything about chemistry? Assuming you're not a chemist, I'm guessing the answer is no. Trigonometry? Geometry? The only thing geometry is interesting for is when on social media, occasionally you'll see somebody just put up a random geometry question, like, can you find the side of X? Like, I think so. Actually, I probably could. I know you multiply this by this, divide it by 2. Right? I think? Maybe not. Maybe that's wrong. Now you got me thinking. Dang it. Stupid. And listen, I like math. That's a waste of everybody's time. And it is infuriating when you think about it. It's like, so why do we do it? Why? Because we want school until somebody's 18 and an adult and then has to leave the house. We need a babysitting club where we can take our kids until they're adults. And then we kick them out of the house and tell them to go to college, where they've learned no skills, they've learned nothing their entire life. Now they have to go and live on their own, because while they've been learning all this other stuff, they don't know how to do anything. They don't know how to pay bills, they don't know how to write checks, they don't know how to balance a book, which you don't really need to do anymore. My dad was big on that. I freaking hated it, balancing checkbooks. I don't even have a checkbook. I don't write checks. My wife occasionally does, and she makes me do it sometimes because she thinks it's funny, and I hate it. Why isn't this on auto pay? This is the worst. Don't know how to fix your car when it breaks. Don't know how to change a tire. Don't know how to change oil. Don't know how to change spark plugs. Don't know how to check air in your tires. Don't know how to pay rent, utilities. Don't know how anything works in your house, so if something breaks, you don't know how to fix it. But you know how to find X in some frickin' Algebra 3 equation, which serves you never in your life. I wish we could just admit that we don't actually prioritize learning in schools and that they're just glorified government daycares, so that at least some people can wake up to that reality and go, actually, I think I do want to educate my kids. And then for those people, we can actually figure out what to do. And as good as private schools are, I don't know that that's even necessary either. I mean, you're telling me you're not doing the same thing in private school? It's just with better teachers and better whatever? Probably smaller classrooms, so it's a little bit more one-on-one. But it's the same stupid subjects. Just an absolute waste of time.
It's me again, calling back just to ask my Packer question, or ask, South, since I can
either way
mess up words. Ask you a question. Anyway, what would be your ideal starting lineup for offense and defense currently? So you can't say Christian Watson because he's injured, but currently at the start of the season, who do you feel would be the optimal starters on offense and defense? Anybody else could call in for the same thing and give me their options. So, anyway, all right, go Pack, go.
I mean, like the whole thing? Well, it's got to be Golden. I guess it's Golden, Romeo, and Jaden right now. I'm all about Wicks stepping up. I mean, I guess I should put Savion in there just because that would be cool if it turns out he's awesome. But I don't even know what he would do right now. I guess Golden, Reed, and Savion would be dope. Some people want to probably put him in the slot. Some people want to put Matthew Golden in the slot. I don't know. We'll just keep it simple. Romeo, Golden, Reed. Man, offensive line. I mean, again, I'll do the same thing. I think my favorite would be Jordan Morgan at left tackle. I like Rashid a lot, but just if we do that, presumably it means that Jordan Morgan is better, so that would be great. Aaron Banks at left guard, Elton Jenkins at center, Anthony Belton is a road-grading right guard, Zach Tom at right tackle, Tucker Kraft and Musgrave are your tight ends, Jordan's your quarterback, Jacobs. I mean, I want Marshawn Lloyd to be number 2. I feel bad because Wilson is just the most underrated person in the NFL, and even I get mad at the Packers for pushing him down, and now I'm doing the same thing, but I guess that's what I would do for the same. It's the same reason, just because presumably it means Marshawn Lloyd is quite good. Defense, Gary, Kenny, Wyatt, Van Ness. I mean, Barron Sorrell and Brenton Cox, I would like to be the 3 and 4. I really like Brenton Cox a lot. Kingsley, like I said, took a step back like everybody else. I don't know that he started to figure it out. Would love to see Colin Oliver kind of come into maybe that next spot. Mosby also was pretty fantastic. As far as the interior, I went Kenny and Wyatt just because I'm hoping Kenny can kind of rebound a little bit. I don't expect the sky from him, but it is what it is. Warren Brinson and Nazir Stackhouse are the 2 to keep an eye on, but we're talking about a 6th-round pick and a UDFA, so I don't know how much we can really put into that, and they're probably just going to be mostly run defenders. But if they can be good at it, that would be pretty cool. Linebackers, Quay, Edgerrin, and I would love for Tyron Hopper to step up. We'll see. I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm guessing it's going to be Quay, Edgerrin, and McDuffie, but I would love it if Hopper could do something cool. And again, as I've said with corner, I think right now it's Hobbs, Keyshawn, and Bullard. I would much rather it be Keyshawn and Valentine with Hobbs in the slot. I know, well, we didn't pay him to be a slot guy. I don't give a damn. I'm just telling you what I would prefer. And then safety, McKinney and Williams with Bullard getting full-time, learning how to be a safety, and along with, Zane and Oladapo back there. Hopefully somebody developing into a really solid safety. Kalen King being backup corner. Hopefully he could kind of step up into something. We'll see. As far as returns, I mean, I'm keeping it Keyshawn. Obviously, we got Waylon McManus and Matt Orzich because that's just what it is. Sorry, Mr. Alex Hale. But yeah, I think Keyshawn is going to be the guy. I don't want Matthew Golden doing any of that. I don't want Jaden Reed doing it. We can explore Savion Williams maybe as like a kick returner. Mecole Hardman's also there. Possibly could be an option. So, yeah, I guess that's my breakdown. All right, let's take our final break. We'll come back. We got 1265 fan.
Hey!
Hey.
Happy so many days after the 4th.
All right.
Thursday today, so whatever that would be. Anyway, happy post-4th. I was listening to Packernet After Dark, and I was listening to Mel's call about the wings.
Mm-hmm.
Bogeys literally is my neighborhood. So I live in New Berlin off of Greenfield, but across the street is Brookfield.
Why did I think you were in, actually, like, in Green Bay? I actually used to live many, many, many years in New Berlin. I don't know. I probably mentioned that.
So Bogeys is very close to me, and one thing you got to know about Bogeys, Ryan, this is a place you want to visit because they smoke their own meats there too. They have a smoker right in between the kitchen and the bar. By the way, the kitchen is literally like the corner of the bar. It's out in the open. It's not its own separate room. It's just a guy with a flat top grill and a single fryer, and oh my God, do they put out the good food. I am telling you, if you like Reuben's at all, they do a smoked corned beef. Oh my God. There's other corned beef things they do. They also do brisket. So this would be a place you definitely want to go to. Get some wings, get some smoked meats, whatever they have on their special that day. You are going to love them. Love them. But the Tompkins, too, it's been a while, but Tompkins has been around for a very, 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 very long time. That's been a family go-to for a long time. That's where my family is from, my mom and dad both. Omar, so sorry to hear about your mom. My dad passed last November, which was part of the family problems going on.
Sorry about that.
They lived in Florida. We brought my mom back to Wisconsin. We put her into a memory care facility. Then my uncle decided to take her in, which is her brother, 20 years younger than her. He just retired. So him and his wife decided to take her in, and I'm so thankful for family.
Yeah.
And, you guys are part of my family. At least that's the way I feel. I don't know. I've been listening, Ryan, to your podcast when you were having dance parties before you would give in to ads, because that's the only way you can be successful with this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been a long, long, long time I've been listening to you. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody. So, all right. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.
Well, I am sorry to hear about that. I'm looking at some pictures of this place. It looks fantastic. One of the things that I've said before, I hate. I'm not a city person. I'm not all bougie, but I'm kind of out in the boonies a little bit. And when I was looking around like for restaurants, all there is, Wisconsin generally, but especially when you get outside of like Madison, Milwaukee, it's just taverns, it's bars, and you get bar food. You get like freezer pizza and, frozen burger patties, and it's not good. And I'm like, man, what's a guy got to do to if I want to take my wife out to a nice place, a nice Italian place or whatever, like where do I go? I have to drive to Milwaukee? You have to drive to It's ridiculous. And it's funny because this Bogeys, when you look at some of the pictures, like if I didn't know better, it just looks like a typical bar. These are the same pictures you'll see, and the place right down the road from me. That's just a little rundown shack that it's just people sitting at a bar. But I tell you what, the pictures look phenomenal. I mean, they got the little looks like fried cheese curds. Oh, does that look good? It looks really good. It definitely seems a little more, like the food seems a little bit more upscale than what you'd find in some of these places. But I don't know that I would necessarily know that just by, if I was flipping through, you know what I mean? But I see the wings, I can see the nice char on them, which I've actually never seen before until it came up the last couple of days. Just wings with a solid char on them. Not all of them. Like, they got like the, what do you call that? The garlic parmesan. That doesn't have like char on it, but you can tell some of the other ones, they got like a solid char. It's got me wanting to try that. But yeah, they got, looks like a steak sandwich, and looks like a fish fry here. That looks pretty good. Nice little golden crisp on the fish. The fish has a little bit of a weird, like that's way too flat to be real fish, but that's fine. That still looks good. The tater tots food looks good. It does. But it's just rare to get like just this little tavern. Looks like your run-of-the-mill place where people go at 9 a.m. and get hammered. It's kind of cool that it sounds like they're actually putting out some really high quality stuff. They actually got a picture of like a whole hog that they're barbecuing outside, which is pretty incredible stuff. So, yeah, I make my way out there once in a while. I got family in that region. Might have to stop out there. My half-Mexican attorney, by the way, 1265, is right down the street from you somewhere, at least his office is. I wonder if he's ever stopped in here. All right, we got Trace Uncle Ricos, so we'll do these 3 Uncle Ricos, and then I think we'll get out of here for the day.
Yo, it's your Uncle Rico.
Yo.
Yeah, that really got me fired up yesterday. I think it was the disrespecting
He's still
of
pissed.
Murph.
Yes,
that got
wasn't
me fired up. You had mentioned in the podcast about people calling in, or maybe not. I don't know what form of communication that was. If it was Twitter or X or whatever, I don't know. Where these people were swearing at him, and I was like, dude, the oxygen thieves are just out there, man. I mean, if you want to voice your opinion, and maybe if you want to drop a F-bomb about it or whatever, but not calling names and, calling Goody and whoever. It was like it was directed to Murph, but it was directed at Goody maybe. Anyways.
Yeah.
Calling people names and stuff. Do they get blocked or something then? I mean,
I don't know.
I know it's free country and it's free speech, but there should be a way. If somebody communicates with Goody or Murph or whoever for that matter, and they all they do is rant and scream and use swear words, especially directed at these people, they should be somehow blocked. Yeah, I mean, if somebody speaks to me like that, they're never going to do it again, one way or the other. Either I'm going to knock their freaking teeth in, or I'm going to block them somehow.
No, they wouldn't say it to your face. That's the problem.
Oh, so they can't do it, It's like I don't know. It's a modern society where people think they can say and do what they want, and they're protected by the law.
The funny thing is, this is one of the things you see on social media, is sometimes people forget, or maybe they just live on social media, so when they get out in the real world, they kind of think they're still out. Some of these people, they say some crazy stuff, and they get a wake-up call. I was fortunate enough to be raised with my stepmother telling me every other day, one of these days you're going to say that to the wrong person, he's going to knock your effing teeth out. So I got that message routinely. I was a very sarcastic young man, and she liked to let me know that you go say that to someone out there, see what happens, kind of thing.
Oh, and whatever. I wish it was like the Wild West, where if
you
somebody
just shoot them.
disrespected you in a way, they just, got a bullet between the eyes.
Yeah. Let's take it there. That's great.
Nobody's afraid to. You think they can just do anything they want all the time with no repercussions. It's really.
By the way, I'm terrified to do things because people are crazy. Like, not only do people run their mouth more, but I feel like on the other side, people who are willing to do stuff, it's not like the old days where it's like, okay, let's go outside. That was, when I say the old days, I'm not 100 years old. I'm talking about back in, I remember when, road rage when I was a kid. Dad's driving the car, he pulls up next to somebody, you guys scream at each other, give each other the finger or whatever. Like, that was it. There was the let's take this outside thing. That was, the 90s, probably early 2000s. Let's take it outside. And you go outside and you fight until somebody gets knocked down, and then you're done. Now, like road rage, people will get out of their car, somebody gets out and just starts shooting them. Like, I'm not pulling over my car. If somebody's like tailing me or whatever, I'm going to the police station. I'm not trying to be Mr. Tough Guy, because that psycho's probably got a gun. And I don't know how many times I've seen fights where somebody gets knocked down, and rather than being like, okay, that's, this is what guys do. Like grown men, we got into a fight, we solved our problems, we move on. Whatever happened to like hug it out? You know what I mean? Now they're over there like stomping on the guy's head. Like, this is attempted murder. Everybody's trying to kill people now. Including you, apparently, wanted to put a bullet between people's eyes. But yeah, I don't know why we got to be so crazy, man. Somebody disrespects you, you sock them in the mouth. Somebody talks about your wife, you sock them. And it's, presumably done unless they want to go. Then it's like, okay, let's finish it. But I don't know. It's just it's weird. You got one group of people that don't know that have not been hit enough to know to shut their mouth, and the other people that just take stuff way too far. You don't need to kill somebody over something stupid, like actually shooting them, stabbing them, stomping on their head when they're down. It's freaking crazy. That's why it's like I think it's important that you know how to fight, but it's also important to understand that all it takes is one lucky shot and you could be the one on the ground getting stomped. So try to maybe just watch your mouth and stay out of trouble and mind your own freaking business.
Frustrating. So have some respect. Anyways, what else? Oh, yeah. And then the people who are still ranting and raving about how the Packers didn't support Rodgers, and we could have done this and we could have done that if only we did this for Rodgers and we did that for Rodgers. What about Rodgers, the savior? If Rodgers is such a freaking savior, why didn't he put the team on his back and carry them to the promised land, go above and beyond, and do what had to be done to make it work instead of being such a weenie, just pointing fingers and pouting like a little weenie pouts instead of being a man and standing up and taking care of business. Rodgers was a weenie. I mean, I get a kick out.
Look, I mean, he got screwed a couple times, there's no doubt about it, especially early on. He was an absolute freak, and he got let down a lot by defenses or stupid special teams plays or whatever the case may be. There's no doubt about it. But again, I look at things the way that they are, and there was that period where we were all in on Rodgers and felt bad for him, and then there was the way that he started to handle things down the stretch, especially when there were times that he wasn't the one getting screwed. He was contributing to not being very good at stuff. Not every time, but it just is what it is. And either way, if you're still carrying the water, like, I don't know, man. I guess I don't understand it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe somebody can try to help me understand it in a way that will translate to my mind. I think I could have understood it when we were in it. It made a little bit more sense when we like the year we drafted Jordan Love. The year after, it started to make less sense. 5 years later, when he's, not only is he not on our team, but he's been with 2 different teams now, and he doesn't appear to be very good. And we've learned a lot about, a lot of the things that were kind of up for debate about whether Rodgers acted a certain way, whether he influenced certain things. I think that's been pretty well answered when he went to the Jets and demanded all these players. And he said he didn't, but it's like, that's weird that everything that we said was the result of Rodgers is happening over in the Jets and it stopped happening here. It's weird. And just all these people that he's played with in the past just happened to be there. And he had nothing to do with that, obviously, but it's just weird. I'm just saying, we've had a lot of time to process this, and I don't know. I don't know what we're doing at this point.
I timed out. Anyways, like I said, Rodgers, I get a kick out of the guy, and I really enjoyed watching him for a lot of years. But when he decided to become the owner, GM, head coach, Rodgers, whatever, instead of just doing his...
It got to be a little too much, especially because this is at the time that his play is starting to dip a bit. You want to do that in 2012, it wouldn't be great, but at the same, I'm not going to say a freaking thing about it. You want to say that when you're on your way out and you're demanding things that are stupid and you're trying to get our GM fired, and it's just, just rough, brutal stuff.
Job and doing it to the best of his ability, and when things didn't work out, working on those things instead of crying about them, whatever. But it's gone, it's done. And I don't know. Like I said in my call the other day, like Hendrickson and Ramsey, have their teams won Super Bowls?
Right.
And Rodgers, when he's left the Packers and moved on, has he won a Super Bowl? No. Wake up, people. Quit stealing my oxygen. Rico out.
Yeah, look at it's funny because, to your point, Packer fans always have all the answers, like the negative fans. All the things that we coulda, woulda, shoulda done. Okay. Well, somebody else did do those things. Did any of them win? Did any of them? How many things that you demanded that we do did the Eagles do this past year? And I know one right off the bat. It's the freaking corner. I can't even remember his name anymore, but that's it. Right? Okay, what about the Chiefs before that? What did they do for all those years? Who was the big free agent pickup that they got? What did they do that was so wonderful? They didn't do any of the stuff that you wanted the Packers to do. Did they draft T. Higgins? Or did the team that drafted T. Higgins, did they win a Super Bowl? It is hilarious that it's like if we had T. Higgins, we would have won a Super Bowl. Rodgers and T. Higgins would have got it done. Really? Because Burrow and Higgins didn't. And Jamar Chase. So what are you talking about? How can you guarantee that number 2 wide receiver would have made all of the difference? Which is a wild claim by itself, especially when that guy is already somewhere else not winning Super Bowls with a great quarterback and a better wide receiver. And for us, it would have been Devontae. For them, it's Jamar Chase. Anything? Nothing? No? It's just, I mean, look, it's stupid to keep going around about it because it's obviously just whining and pouting. It's not meant to be rational. They're lying when they say they're being rational, but whatever. Freaking whatever.
Yo, Ryan, it's your uncle, Rico.
Yo.
So, back to the whole Trey Hendrickson, Jalen Ramsey thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, my argument is these game changers, these are going to transform guys like this. These 2 guys specifically are going to transform the Packers into Super Bowl winner. Not just a contender, but a winner.
Mm-hmm.
And so you tell people like, well, if they're if they're those big game changers and they're going to transform a team into a Super Bowl winner, why haven't the teams they've been on been Super Bowl winners?
Yeah.
Well, because those teams aren't good enough. Oh, wait a second. So you're telling me the Packers are good enough to win a Super Bowl as soon as you sign Trey Hendrickson, automatic Super Bowl winner?
Must be pretty close.
Well, yeah, he's good like that. And, okay, so, but Goody's bad, right? Yeah, Goody's bad. But he's assembled a team good enough to win a Super Bowl with Trey Hendrickson. But the Bengals aren't good enough to win a Super Bowl with Trey Hendrickson, and the Dolphins aren't good enough to win a Super Bowl with Jalen Ramsey. Well, yeah, they're not good. But the Packers are good because Goody assembled a Super Bowl winning team. Okay. All right. Rico out.
Yeah, it's pretty brilliant stuff. That's a very good point, too. Are you saying we're on the cusp and we're just a player away? Because that sounds like a pretty good team. And if it's not a good team because Brian Gutekunst sucks at his job and this team is terrible, then why would you waste resources on a single player like that? Shouldn't we be in tear down and rebuild mode? I mean, if you want a new GM, why don't we just shoot for like a top 5 pick? Shouldn't we be accumulating picks, not giving picks away? I mean, we need to find a new quarterback. We need to find all kinds of stuff, right? So why would we go get Trey Hendrickson, who's, 30-some-odd years old? He's not going to help us win this year. So while we're in teardown mode, we're going to have Trey Hendrickson for no reason whatsoever. That doesn't make any sense. It's a good point, Uncle Rico. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. I think I'm enjoying the music. I'm going to get y'all another song. I got to figure out what to do. Probably make fun of the whiny Packer fans. Sounds like fun. But y'all have a good night. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.
Uncle Rico in the building. Talking about them cheeseheads. Y'all listen up. Green Bay faithful, but they never satisfied. Got Jordan Love, but they still terrified. We need more weapons every single season. Love's throwing dimes, but they can't find a reason. Appreciate greatness right in front they face. Championship windows, but they crying about the pace. Trey Hendrickson talks got them all excited. One more piece away, man, they sound so short-sighted. Packers fans always whining, never enough. Got a good team, but they calling it rough. Super Bowl or bust, but they know deep inside green and gold got them spoiled with too much pride. Always want more, 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 but they got rings hanging up in the lore. Still complaining like they're last in in the race when Lambeau Field is a championship place. Sign Jalen Ramsey, echoing through the threads. One trade away from dancing on opponents' heads. But hold up, nephew, check your team's resume. Playoffs every year, what more can you say? Other fan bases praying for a winning season, while y'all debate if Goaty's moves got reason. Championships don't grow on Wisconsin trees, but you act like titles come with such ease. Packers fans always whining, never enough. Got a good team, but they calling it rough. Super Bowl or bust, but they know deep inside green and gold got them spoiled with too much pride. Always want more, 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 but they got rings hanging up in the lore. Still complaining like they last in the race when Lambeau Field is a championship place. Reality check time. Y'all assembled something special already. Jordan Love connection, defense getting steady. But you want guarantees in the game with no sure thing, acting like you need 10 all-pros to win a ring. Wake up, Wisconsin! Packers fans always whining, never enough. Got a good team, but they calling it rough. Super Bowl or bust, but they know deep inside green and gold got them spoiled with too much pride. Always want more, 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 but they got rings hanging up in the lore. Still complaining like they're last in the race when Lambeau Field is a championship place. So next time you're crying about another trade, remember all the magic that your team has made. Uncle Rico out. Go Pack, go. But maybe chill a little.